King of the Ring would have been lost in the shuffle with all those championship matches that are on tomorrow night. But I do wish it was on as well in the Clash of Champions. Also, if you're one of those podcasters that do nothing but shit on WWE and don't watch any other promotions or specials, such as, I don't know, Bloodsport, fuck you. You're doing it to yourself. No WWE talk. Oh, we'll start off with Bloodsport. So we watched Bloodsport tonight. This is my first time ever watching Bloodsport. So go ahead. If you want to hate on me in the chat room, go ahead. I have heard about it before, but I've never watched it. And yes, a little bit of it had to do with Killer Cross being on the show, but I was hearing nothing but great stuff about the show tonight. So I figured, you know what, why not order it? It was only $20. And
oh, ain't bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I know Impact was running a show tonight as well, but it was nothing.
Snooze fest.
That's what I was hearing, that it wasn't very good. So we ordered it, or I ordered it, and Dave was able to watch it because we hook each other up with that with our Fight TV accounts, linking. And we watched it tonight, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. It's a nice. I know they usually have death matches and light bulbs and all that types of shit in GCW, but it was nice to see no ropes. We didn't get any flippity flips tonight. We got straight up shoot wrestling. It was something different, something you do not see every week.
Well, air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes, shoot wrestling, yes. It was a really fun show. Like I said, I caught it in the middle. It was when Corelli was facing Grimm. Man, the crowd hated Grimm, but that's here or there. And watched it from there on. I didn't see the matches before then, but also obviously I can watch it on replay. But I'm sure this was your first time watching it as well, Dave. What was your first thoughts of it? What did you think of the show? Did you enjoy it? Would you buy another Bloodsport pay-per-view?
When I first heard you say, I got Bloodsport, I'm going to watch it, I'm like, okay, sure. I guess I'll go watch some people get broken, some light bulbs get broken over people's heads or something. That's what I thought it was. I thought Bloodsport was, because GCW is known for death matches. Mm-hmm. So I see Bloodsport in GCW, I'm like, okay, these are going to be a bunch of death matches. But you know what? It was really fun. Because I guess it was more like pro wrestlers versus MMA guys, and it was kind of cool to see them just do like ground and pound wrestling, which a lot of wrestling fans today would hate this. Mm-hmm. And I did love the ending where some dude said "fuck pro wrestling," and then they're like,
"No." He didn't say "fuck pro wrestling."
Yeah, he did.
He said "fuck Moxley." He said "fuck Moxley."
No, I heard him say "fuck pro wrestling," and they're like, "No." I heard him say "fuck pro wrestling." Well, maybe I was wrong. I could have thought that's what he said.
I watched for free. Well, fuck you, Red Sox fan. Lucky you get to watch it for free. I gave them my money, and hopefully in support of Bloodsport, you dick. All right. Anyways, it
was different.
It was.
I'd never seen wrestling like that. Like that's how pro wrestling originally started, like that, where it's basically just someone grabbing a hold and holding it there. And people hated it and thought it was boring like that. And that's why the business evolved, which I can get why people want the promos, they want the action, the fast-paced run back and forth. But like you tweeted, it was a nice change of pace. And it was a fun little match. And, yeah, I would watch it again. I think something like that could really get over if they had like a weekly show almost. But
do you think people are – and this is not me. And I feel like this is what I saw a lot of people in the chat room. I don't know if you were watching the chat room. I was watching it on my computer, and I was looking at the chat room. And of course, you had your trolls in there, and a lot of the trolls were saying, "Oh, this is just UFC wannabes," or acting like this is the UFC, but there's no real punches, there's no real kicks.
There's real kicks in there. Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
A lot of people trolling people, and you get a lot of the Red Sox fans' remarks. "Oh, well, don't worry, Mark. WWE pay-per-views are tomorrow," and blah, blah, blah. It was funny, but seeing people go back and forth. But that's a lot of the comments. "Oh, this is just a cheap ripoff of the UFC." Did you get any type of feel of that? I didn't. I felt like this was just different type of wrestling. I didn't feel like it was a cheap ripoff of the UFC.
It's what look, everyone thinks the UFC is rigged nowadays anyway. and they just put together a really good show that is predetermined kind of shoot wrestling in a way. And to me, I've seen a lot of those kicks and punches. They look pretty legit to me. They didn't look like they're holding too much back out there.
Yeah, there's no, it's not. It's different, obviously there's no closed fists. Everything's open fists. So they're slapping each other instead of actually punching each other, which is still going to fucking hurt. But
oh yeah,
that's what I saw in the chat room was a lot of people saying this was a cheap ripoff of the UFC. If you want to watch this stuff, why not just watch the UFC? That's what I got a lot in the chat room. And I wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
Because this way, with UFC, what's hard about UFC and boxing, the fighters only fight a couple times once a year, at the most. But for the UFC, maybe a couple times if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. You'll see. That's why it's so hard to market your show after something like that. Now with a Bloodsport, I don't know if they would be able to put out a weekly show where you could freaking do something. Where you could promote the same guys weekly or different matchups where the people be familiar with them. With UFC and boxing, you can't do that because you only get one fight for a pay-per-view, and that's it, pretty much with boxing for a whole year.
Now, inform us a little bit, Red Sox fan, Bob Ruski, or whoever else is in here that watches GCW. How often do they do these blood sports? Obviously, they haven't had them very often. This being their third one. How often do they do shows?
Second one, I believe.
Second one, excuse me. How often do they do shows? That type of stuff. People bitch, but I bet they kept watching. Exactly. These are guys that paid to watch the show that are trolling people who are watching the show. Like, I don't get that. Like, it's that's what I don't understand. Now, anything that you maybe did not like about the show? I have no complaints. The commentary was good. The ring announcer was good. I have no complaints about what I watched tonight. What about you?
No, I mean, I enjoyed the grapple wrestling and I enjoy that kind of style, though. I enjoy submission wrestling. Like, even in the UFC, if they're going to have two good ground wrestlers go out there and wrestle, I enjoy that stuff, too, if it's a really good... But it's hard to do that. In UFC, you never know. You can get a big match of your main event and it ends in 2 seconds. Right. With stuff like this, you can stretch it out a little bit, and you can do something with it. And it almost brings legitimacy back to pro wrestling in a way, because yes, this isn't technically a pro wrestling event, but it is still under a pro wrestling banner where you have pro wrestling and MMA guys going out there and doing some kind of shoot stuff. So, yeah, it looks good.
Now, one more question to Bob Ruski, or Red Sox fan. How often are there shows involving light bulbs and stuff like that? Because I know that the GCW banner is that they're extreme, they're death matches, but you didn't see any of that tonight. Didn't even hear any of that really mentioned tonight. How often is that implemented into their shows? Does Josh Barnett take light bulbs to the head, or how does that go? What's up, Brandon? How you doing tonight? Started a little bit late, so thank you for joining us. Well, if the wrestlers working Bloodsport are working other shows and different wrestlers come on each week, those different wrestlers are marketing themselves because they're not going away for 8 months at a time. What's up, Venom?
Exactly, because we knew half the roster who was on here pretty much. Like, we knew Davey Boy, and if you watched MLW, you know Tom Lawler, because those were both guys heavy into MLW. I mean, you knew Santino. Everyone knew Santino. You knew Josh Barnett. You might not know the other guy he faced, but you pretty much knew a good handful of these guys on the show. Killer Cross and Nick Cage. I mean, man, the crowd was pissed about that. I mean, I don't blame them. You even had the poster. That was the poster of the whole Bloodsport thing. I believe,
thought
correct?
That was I thought. I'm not sure if that was the poster of Bloodsport.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was the main event. But obviously it wasn't. It was Barnett being in the main event.
Now, did that kind of make you mad how they did that?
No. I don't know how these shows go. Like, I don't know if a tap out like that is, something that never really happens. And it seems like that's what happened. So it seems like he caught him with a chokehold. Controversial finish. Now it kind of plays up to maybe a rematch. But what we got tonight, and I got footage of it, everybody. What's up, Venom? How you doing? I'll join you after
Yeah,
tonight's
well, he
show.
kind of saved it a little bit too with calling out Batista, but man, the crowd was pissed. They felt like they got gypped because you got Killer Cross and Nick Cage, and you're expecting a big brawl fight between these guys
Right.
for at
Yeah.
least 15 minutes, and you get that's what
Like
happens in UFC too.
what I thought we were gonna get from them, but see, and maybe Bob Aruski, a Red Sox fan, because I know who Gage is. I don't really follow him very much. Is that his type of wrestling? A ground game type of match like that, where you know how Davey Boy, the match before then with Lawler and Davey Boy, that was a ground and pound.
Yeah, well, Nick Cage is a deathmatch guy.
That was like a 10 to 15 minute match. What people thought we were going to probably get from Cross and Gage, but we didn't. I'm wondering if maybe that's just not his style, and maybe they went a different route. I don't know. Who am I to judge? Suzuki was a fill-in because low-key no-showed 1 year. I saw that on Wikipedia when I was looking up this stuff. Hell no, says Red Sox fan.
Yeah, Nick Cage. I know from Bob Bruskin and everyone on Twitter that he's this big deathmatch guy.
He was over as fuck, man. People love that man, dude. It's crazy. But let's get to what happened after the Killer Cross and Gage match. This was off Twitter. No, I didn't pull this off of the pay-per-view. But let's watch this, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Respectfully, there's a guy up there who says he's retired. He says he's retired, but being in this ring in front of everybody in this building, I fucking love this business. I fucking love it, and there's no
Get some buffering. It's
way
on
that he
Twitter.
doesn't love it anymore either. So I don't believe he's retired. So I'm asking respectfully. David Batista. But you just heard that. You guys want Batista and Bloodsport. Give us what we want.
Now that was fucking crazy. Was not expecting him to call out Batista, but I'm enjoying that. What did you think about that, Dave?
It saved the crowd.
Yeah, they were upset about that ending. Thank you for the host, Alex. Appreciate that.
I mean, it almost seems like that's why he did it, because it felt like the crowd was just bullshit everywhere because they were pissed that the match ended so fast and they're going crazy. And it just seems like it was a way to get the crowd to turn a little bit, and it did. And the crowd turned, and they went back to being happy instead of being pissed off. So it kind of saved it.
Now, also, like Bob Aruski says, we all know about Batista doing his MMA.
Bro.
If it was successful or not, that's you to judge on that. So this is a little bit around his territory. He's not out to go out there and have a 10 to 15, 20-minute match. This is a shoot wrestling match where ground and pound will be mostly involved in this match. Do you think Batista accepts this challenge and we get Cross and Batista, say, maybe WrestleMania weekend at a Bloodsport 3? Or 4, if that matter. Who knows by then?
They would have to fork over a lot of money, I'm guessing, to get Batista to come out of retirement. And by this time next year, I think they're going to start. I don't know if they're shooting that yet or not. So,
well, they said
he's going to be doing Guardians.
I think Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter said he's filming a sort of movie in Atlantic City right now. So I don't know if that was maybe Cross and Batista crossed paths, and this is something that they had in line and met up about, and this was something that they planned to do, or what. But it's no coincidence that Batista's in Atlantic City filming a movie, and this happens tonight.
Oh, so you think they already have it planned out and it's already going to happen?
Possibly, yeah. I don't see why not. Do you think Triple H will have any issue with, or WWE in general have any issue, what's up, Speeds, with Batista coming out of retirement, quote-unquote retirement, and face Killer Cross at a Bloodsport event? I don't think so.
I mean,
A lot of the WWE talent were commenting about tonight's show. I don't know if you saw about that. Baszler was.
well, she was
Mia
trained by
Yim.
Josh Barnett.
Yeah, well, fuck, man. You know how WWE
I mean,
is.
I know, but Shayna was trained by Josh Barnett. I mean, that's her mentor, the guy who trained her. Of course, she's gonna tweet about it. I mean, I wasn't surprised to hear seeing her talking about people. I don't want to see. I mean, we'll see any of you so-called smart fans calling this isn't wrestling or whatever.
Right? Yeah, she's calling out the fans there. If WWE don't call Dave that weekend to take him out somehow, yeah, they could be petty and take him out of that show.
Hey, call me all you want. Oh, you mean Dave Batista?
Yeah, not you, Dave. Not you.
I'll no-show everybody. I'll no-show this show for WWE.
There you go.
I'll sell out.
Excuse me. What's up, Speeds? How you doing tonight, man? Thank you for joining us. So overall thoughts on Bloodsport's positive, more than negatives?
Yeah, I don't think there really was any negatives other than the Cage and Cross match because a lot of us, I think, we wanted more. We wanted like a blood sport match, like literally blood everywhere. Yeah, that's what we wanted from this match, and we know Cross isn't big on blood, so that wasn't good. That's what I was curious about. Was Cross going to bleed in this match? Because
hold up, Dave. It's not that he's not against bleeding. He wants proper testing to be done before, he says, hey, I'm gonna bust myself open. That type of stuff. And we'll get into that because
well, your buddy Shawnee, so we'll get to that soon.
Did you call him Shawnee? My buddy Shawnee. That's a good one. Oh, how was
hey, you always put him over.
Hey, Sean Ross Sapp has done nothing to me for me to say something negative towards him. Not like the Brad Shepherds and the other wrestling news.
Well, Dave Meltzer hasn't done nothing to me either. I still don't like him.
Dave Meltzer is just another person. All right.
He hasn't done nothing to me.
Yeah, Gotch didn't really seemed out of place. But how was that Sienna match? I didn't see that match. I saw a lot of the ladies commenting on Sienna. But,
was she on there?
Yeah, she was on the show.
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I thought, like you said, I enjoyed the Lawler and Davey Boy match, and even the match after that I thought was pretty good too, where the guy hit like a rear naked choke on him, and like I was like, oh, that was nice, a little Matt Hughes right there. But yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed the show. I mean, it was fun. It was just grapple wrestling, and. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun show. Match, no negatives. What was awful?
They said Sienna match was awful.
Oh, okay.
Damn. All right. Thank you, Jimbo, for the resub. Really do appreciate that very, very much. Dave's been smoking grass and all out. Just because Sienna match rocks, says Marion Watson. All right, so we got two different opinions on the Sienna match. All right, so let's move on. Thatcher is a fucking legit badass. That was the match afterwards that you're talking about with Thatcher. He was the one who wrestled.
Okay, yeah, Thatcher. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah.
I did like how they shook hands after every match. That was pretty cool too.